Wow. Okay. Jeez. That was quick, wasn't it? Holy cow. I was even more correct than I thought. He literally just went down every one of those issues. Boom, 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 done. Sent him out. Now I guess they're going to talk. The lawyers are going to say, well, please ask him about this, ask him about that. And then they're going to argue about whether or not to ask them. And then the judge will maybe ask a couple additional questions. I don't know. I haven't watched from a while ago until the end of this. So this is all new ground here. Let's see what happens next. And go.
Okay, juror number 1 is out of our presence. I have, as I told you in the order allowing the limited juror interview, and as I said this a few moments ago, after I asked my questions, I was going to open it up to see if there were other questions. So I'll just go to the defense. Are there topics that within those 4 issues that I'm allowing that I need to dig farther on?
I only have the area of inquiry as to the October 30th when his wife
Okay,
was-
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you go to that?
Yeah.
I apologize.
So I'm only have a handful of questions, I think, about October 30th when his wife was in the courtroom. It seems to me that if I was on a jury and my wife showed up in the courtroom, I'd be surprised. And so, did he have any conversations about her planning to attend before she did attend? And then I guess the next question has to be, did he actually see her in the courtroom sitting on the what I'll call the plaintiff's side of the courtroom? Did that cause them to have any verbal or nonverbal communication with one another in the courtroom? Did they have lunch with one another that day? Did they have any
What the intercourse does that have to do with anything?
her attendance at the court at the end of the day?
Irrelevant. Nothing.
And the only final question I would have would be whether or not he discussed anything about the testimony of Detective Graham, either before that testimony or afterwards.
The Detective Graham issue, I mean, I've ruled on that.
Okay. I thought that was still open, but if you ruled on it, that's fine.
Right. Well, I mean, I think what I said was the fact that his wife posted that he's going to have questions. I think I said that this is almost as certain as death and taxes that this witness or that this juror was going to have.
Yes, exactly.
Questions.
I realize that.
Yeah. So
I prefer the question, but if you don't want to give it, that's fine. So thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Plaintiffs, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, we object to all of these. We do not see the relevancy.
He looks like a bored/angry judge. And as Anderson's here saying, there's nothing relevant. Everything this guy asked, there's not a single relevant thing to the issues that are in question here.
To them, the witnesses already testified that he did not have any communications with his wife about the trial. The court's order, none of the instructions said, and you have to remain mute to your spouse. You can have no conversations whatsoever. You can't even look at her, presumably is one of the questions in the courtroom, or shake your head or smile. We believe that these questions are completely inappropriate and lead us nowhere towards what we understand the court's inquiry and what you're seeking here.
I'll go ahead and ask, I think 1 or 2 of them. I'm not going to ask all of them, but Mr. Turfs, was there anything that? Okay, let's bring them in real quick.
All right. So, yeah, basically, shut up, guys. Yeah. And nothing they have to ask is relevant to the issue. And they know it. They're just throwing Hail Marys at this point. He's like back.
Okay, sir, you understand you're still under oath?
Yes.
Just a few more follow-ups. Apparently your wife showed up in court on October 30th.
Yes.
That was the day before you dyed your hair. I remember correctly. Well, your hair went orange
Yes.
for Halloween, I assume. Okay, but let me go back to the day before.
Wow. Okay.
Did you see your wife in court that day?
No, I did not.
Did you have any knowledge prior to October 30th that she was going to court?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
She told me that morning that she wants to go and sit in court. And I said, fine with me. And that was the end of the conversation.
Now, so you said you didn't see her in court.
Because of my eyesight, even with my readers, because of my diabetic retinopathy, I only see figures in the gallery right now. I can't ID anybody.
Huh.
Well, here's
Wow.
where I'm going with my ultimate question. I hear that you say you didn't see your wife, but I want to make sure, was there any sort of nonverbal contact or nonverbal communication from your wife to you about this case?
No, there was not.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If you could go have a seat.
There you go. Anything else?
And Mr. Altenburn, based on how he answered those questions, I didn't ask some of those others because either benign contact, not about the case.
I'm not asking for additional questions.
Okay, thank you. So at this point, may I excuse juror number 1?
Yes, Your Honor, on behalf of plaintiff.
Yes.
Okay. We can let.
Okay, the judge was very, very cordial, was very, very gentle, and very, very, impliedly apologetic to the witness, to the juror number 1 for having to put him through this. But you saw when the questions were being asked, when the defense was proposing their additional questions to be asked, the judge was looking straight at him like, are you going to sit down yet? Are you really, really saying that? His demeanor was quite cold to them, and I don't blame him. He's
him
done.
go if he wants to
He's
leave
done
the
with
building.
this.
That's fine. I'm going to hear further arguments from the lawyers. Mr. Turfs, if you want to stay around, that's fine. Or if you want to leave with him, that's fine too. But juror number 1 is free to go if he wishes to leave at this point. If he wants to come and sit in the audience, he's free to do that, or come sit here. It's totally up to him.
Daily Quick Bites, he had to allow this. I was 90% sure that he would allow at least this very, very basic questioning of the jury to just close another one of the doors to JHACH's appeals. Say, yes, I did it. Because if he doesn't do it, they can say, oh, he erred in not even questioning the juror when there was
Documents in
some
Courts Exhibits
at least
1 and 2.
theoretical misconduct. By doing this, he's shut that avenue of appeals off. They can't say he didn't do it. He couldn't consider it. So I think it was necessary and proper in this case to close off this avenue of appeal and to put this juror number 1 thing to rest forever.
Absolutely may. Okay. But he is now excused from his subpoena and he's free to go whenever he wishes to go. Okay, closing arguments at this point on the defendant's motion for new trial, which is at DIN 3742. And since it was the defendant's motion, I'll let the defense make any arguments you wish to make at this point, if any.
So based on the testimony, it comes down to a credibility fault you can make
Yeah.
on what he said here. And I've asked for questions. We'd like to have gone to the things on the other area, but I believe you've made a clear ruling on that, so there's no reason for me to argue further on that. I do believe that those things weren't bound by a 15-day and that we had good cause for why we did it somewhat later. But
Well, the judge already said you're wrong. So, okay. That was the ultimate Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. Passes. That was, That is their final argument.